bench today. We've got this Squier Strat. This is the SE. It is a 2009, the 2009 Squier Strat SE. These are sort of a more sought after model of Squier because they do have that full thickness body. They've been known to have really nice necks on them. This one doesn't appear to be any different. It feels nice, but you can see it's dirty. It's beat up. Lots of marks on there, which I don't mind. But we're going to go through and take all the strings off, test the electronics, clean it up. This is going to need a fret dressing. It's going to need a fret dressing, so we'll do that before we go too far with the whole setup process. But we're just sort of going to restore it. Not going to go crazy, not going to worry about like these dings and stuff. I like that, especially since they're natural. So I'm going to go through it. We'll test out the electronics to start with. See what we're working with. Scratchy for sure. Okay, so all the pickups work. Pickup selector all works. All the knobs work. Obviously it's a little bit crackly. That's perfect. And it's got that kind of vintage style wiring, so the full bridge selector all the way to the back. You have no tone controls, just volume. But that'll work. So let's get these strings off and start cleaning this up a bit. I did take a string action measurement before, and that was 2.5 on the low E. It's going to be stripped. 2.5 on the low E, and there's no B or high E string, so on the G string it was 2.25 or 2, so it's still all too high. I want to get it down to like to get it down to maybe 1.6 millimeters on the low E. 1.6, probably 1.5 on the low E. 1.25 on the high E. Radius the middle strings to the fingerboard. So, 3 springs, and they look nice. Let's get these out. Just going to do like a general clean just to kind of give us a better starting place. Just like to grab a few before and afters. Just kind of see where we came from, all that. Now let's really get into it here. I have been looking for one of these SEs for a while. A lot of people like to mod them because they were, / maybe are, kind of the least expensive Squier that had that full thickness body. The affinities and the bullets for a while. I think they still do, but they had a thinner body. I have an affinity right now that also does have the thin body, which is fine, but it wouldn't take like a trem block, like a full-size trem block and such. So a lot of people that like to mod guitars want that full thickness body. So I've been looking for one for a while. Thought if I could ever get one, it would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna do like a bunch of modifications on it. We'll see about the pickups. I think there's a ceramic bar pickup in here. And we'll see about that. I'd love to try. I'd love to try like the Chris Buck has some pickups. We'll see. We'll see what it is. To start with, I'm just going to set it up, get it playing well, with everything kind of stock, and then we'll see. Fingerboard is dirty. These SEs used to come in a like starter kit. So you get the guitar and the amp, the bag. Pretty cheap. And I actually did get the amp with this when I got it. Alright, that's going to be a good enough place to start. It's pretty messy, but kind of the loose stuff has been knocked off. So I'll start there. Take this pick guard off. And, clean the electronics. Tight. So, ceramic bars, dirty for sure. Cloth. cleaned up a little bit. Really dirty. Okay, much better. Sort of getting this cavity a little bit. Some deoxit in here. I'm going to get right in here. Just work that around. Away. Try to get some switch as well. So, what I like to do before I go further, just check. So there's a buzz from the amplifier, the actual volume knob. Doesn't seem to be crackling. The tone knobs don't seem to be crackling. So the switches and knobs don't seem to be crackling anymore. The buzz is just from the amplifier itself. Cheap little amplifier. Alright, let's put this back on. Some of these screws have a little bit of oxidation and rust on them, but again, that's the kind of thing that I'm like, I don't mind that. I'm not going to leave it at the detriment of the guitar, but having that kind of aged look is a-okay by me. Here, put that on the ground. Make sure these are all sunk. So, electronics are good, screws, fittings all tightened up. Now I know I'm going to have to do a fret dressing on this. Just take my fret rocker here and check the levelness. That's uneven. That's uneven. Hear that rocking? There. Huge rock on that one. impressive. Okay, so pardon, definitely uneven frets the whole way up. So we will we'll tape off this fingerboard. I might try to tap some of the really high frets and see if they settle down a little bit before I dive in. But we'll continue that in part 2 of the video. Thanks, guys.